Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the NerdHour Podcast.
Do we fist bump?
NerdHour.
Unity.
I'm Cory Chows.
That's a hell of an introduction. I'm Idriys Jones.
And this is the NerdHour Podcast. We're here to talk about everything nerdy, geek-related, comic books, film, television, pop culture. And yeah, it's been a long time coming for us.
Yeah, I mean, we do this on the regular anyway, so we figured why not just film it.
Yeah, we chose starting a podcast over therapy, so...
Yeah, we need couples therapy, but this is better.
It is better. Just to kind of, spew out what we always talk about into the world, and yeah, it gets pretty crazy sometimes of our little tangents.
Yeah.
Everything going on in the Marvel universe, DC, Star Wars. Star Wars.
But I think this is like the best time to
100%.
Be a nerd. It's like you notice a lot more girls like in anime recently.
That's true.
As opposed to when we were like 15, like, you know what I'm saying? So
that is true.
I think it's time to come out the nerdy closet.
Yeah. And that's also a good point because this podcast is like post the Infinity Saga, right? Yeah. So I mean, right now we are on the lead up to Secret Wars, and I think from now to Secret Wars it's going to get pretty insane, a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I mean,
then we got James Gunn at DC, and that's about to change everything, and then we just got movies in general.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of reboots.
But yeah.
Let's go down let's see what we got today.
So, what did we watch Friday, Idriys?
We watched the third Guardians movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.3, directed by James Gunn himself. Initial thoughts. What do you think? We touched upon it, I think we have 2 days to kind of let it sink in now.
I walked away from that thinking like James was showing off. This is his last hurrah. This is his fourth quarter moment, and he hit the buzzer beater. Yeah. And he was just doing things where I was just like, this man's crazy, but in a good way. Like
in the best way.
He's good with character. He's good with story. And then this directing was it seemed like more elevated than the other
100%,
Guardian movies.
100%.
Just in terms of camera movements and all. It's just like he just put everything into this third one.
Yeah. James Gunn's the fucking GOAT, bro. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. That shit was so good.
I ain't even mad at his brother and his wife be all up in it. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, he could do whatever he wants. If he's making content like this, put all his friends. I hope to see his grandbaby in one of the movies in the future. And Superman, fuck it.
Yeah, we'll talk about cameos definitely more in depth in a bit. But I mean, James Gunn is, there was conversations going on about who is the Mount Rushmore of superhero directors. Maybe we could make that a whole episode in itself. But personally, after seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 3 and just talking about track record wise, I put James Gunn in the Mount Rushmore of comic book movie directors.
Go ahead, do your Mount. What is it, 4?
4.
Okay, so you go first.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I put James Gunn up there, and we're talking about solely comic book movies and, the track record, right? Mm-hmm. James Gunn, Sam Raimi, the Russo brothers, even though they're the brothers. But that's, a whole thing in itself with the Russo brothers because, granted, what they've been putting out now hasn't been that good, but just from Civil War into...
I haven't watched any.
Exactly.
What was the...
They did Cherry with Tom Holland on Apple, I didn't... It was okay. It's not that good.
I don't watch anything on Apple TV.
Apple TV, goated. That's a whole thing itself.
But yeah, go ahead.
For the Russo brothers from Civil War into, Infinity War and Endgame, like, there's whole things about like, was it really them? Because they're kind of not that good now. But like, I just the whole, from Civil War to Endgame, to Infinity War to Endgame, I just think it was incredible and what they did with that. And then my last pick would honestly be
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. I do love the Transformers movie.
Yeah. No, you.
I think the last one, honestly, this may be iffy, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Christopher Nolan, right?
The Batman that's trilogy. What I figured. So it's 4?
4.
James Gunn, Christopher Nolan.
Wow.
I mean, we probably, there's not many. I mean, Sam Raimi, I guess, for the Spider-Man series we got. But then Ryan Coogler.
See, I was thinking about putting Ryan Coogler up there just because of the triumphantness of what was Black Panther.
Yeah.
It was just, 100%. But besides that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have to because I'm black. I have to say Ryan Coogler. So,
and honestly, I will not knock you for that because, Ryan Coogler is... What he did with the first Black Panther was very, it was a moment.
Even this, because I know a lot of people didn't like the second Black Panther, but
True.
that was difficult. If you have to, put in context the pressure and all that to change the script, and there was a lot of pressure on him, and he still turned around what was a decent movie. True. You know what I'm saying? It's like he tried his best with that, with what was given, and he made the most out of it.
Yeah.
It's just, people just wanted Chadwick, which is just, unfortunate. But
very.
But go ahead.
But so from just the Mount Rushmore status, if we both agree that James Gunn's up there, I have a question. What's your faith now in James Gunn leading DC?
I'm excited because I didn't give a fuck about DC.
Exactly. I was hoping you'd say that because it's like, how do you feel about DC, Idriys?
I didn't give a shit about any DC movie. I did not go to watch Batman versus Superman. I did not go to watch any Superman movies, any Wonder Woman movies, No, I saw Aquaman. I saw the first Aquaman, I think, in theaters.
Gotcha.
Did I go with you or someone else?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But
that's also a conversation of like, we've watched a lot of Marvel movies together, but I need to try to remember our first one. But that's a whole other thing.
The first one.
Yeah.
Damn, what was the first one?
I don't. We could retrace that in a second, but Idriys has. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry, brother. He is a DC hater, but there's not even. I do agree. There's not a lot to like about DC, right?
Yeah, it just didn't interest me.
Exactly. But dude, we watched this together at my house. James Gunn Suicide Squad.
So that's what I was about to say. Was like, that's a DC movie I like. Like that's a DC movie I like.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other DC movies I like. I saw the other Suicide Squad in theaters.
Terrible.
And
I'm sorry.
I just liked Will Smith in it and Viola Davis.
Yeah. Viola Davis. Yeah.
And then, DCU so far, I just have not really cared. Just hasn't, the colors weren't interesting to me and all this stuff, whatever. So the James Gunn Suicide Squad seemed more lively, more colorful. It had more humor. The characters seemed better. I think James is good at making dysfunctional families out of characters. As opposed to like, oftentimes dealing with superheroes, they'll come at an angle where it's like they just have a clash of egos. It's like, I'm this and I'm that, whatever. But James has a way of like bringing everyone together to feel like it's a family, and it's just they are dysfunctional, which is a good premise for a lot of shows or TVs, even if they aren't exactly family. Like Community is like a show about a dysfunctional family. It's just that they're a study group. You know what I'm saying? So James is just really good at that, and I think that's why even Guardians was like, even the success it was because they felt like a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of more of a heart there. So.
Yeah, 100%.
I was missing the heart in a lot of the DCU movies.
He's very good at just like focusing in on like the very like real life aspect of things, right? Like very like taking these like a raccoon and like giving him like just that sensibility of like, oh, he's like is a real person that went through all this darkness that he actually did set up from the first movie. Because James has been going on this whole run, especially with Guardians 3, right? That he's saying like, basically the Guardians trilogy is about Rocket. And like, and I really feel that because like, I don't know, Rocket is probably my favorite Guardians character. I've always like, even like for the comics and stuff, like I just loved like Rocket Raccoon. It's freaking a raccoon that like carries guns and it's just insane. Like a little.
But like, you know, he directly referenced that thought of him being like, this whole story is about Rocket.
Really?
This isn't a spoiler too much or whatever, but remember.
By the way, we'll get into spoilers maybe like towards the endish everything. We're just gonna let it rip. Yeah. But
I'll just say there's a line in there where he's told, he's like, the story was yours all along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that too. I was just like, wow, very kind of on the nose.
Yeah.
But like maybe not on the nose because he was just through press and everything saying it. But yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, damn. So yeah, this has just been 3 build-up movies.
For Rocket. Because like literally like in like the first Guardians, second Guardians, and then like, you know, through the Avengers where they popped in and stuff, they were like, you know, he was just like, Quill would be like talking about like, oh, like how was he made or where'd he come from? It's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Just like teasing it, right? And just like building up. It's like he had a really messed up backstory that he finally got like to shine in this 3rd movie, which I'm so happy about. I'm literally gonna get a rocket tattooed on me after this, dude. Bro. Like I'm like,
I guess everyone got their chance, you know. I mean, really, it was from Peter's perspective.
Yes.
Because he's the reason why they all came together in the first place.
Yes.
But you know, Gamora had her time.
Yes.
And then Groot didn't really have his own. In the first movie he had like his moment.
Yes.
But he didn't really have. We don't know shit about Groot. Maybe that'll come later.
Maybe. Yes.
But Nebula had a good arc.
Yeah, and Nebula's arc is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Shout out Karen. Was it Gillian?
Karen Gillian.
Gillian?
Yeah, Karen Gillian.
Yeah. I fuck with her.
Yeah, like I feel like everyone has substantial arc. They definitely changed Drax from the comics. Drax from Drax the Destroyer, like Thanos killed his family, and basically like his whole vendetta is just to go after Thanos for revenge, which they didn't really touch upon much in his. He did bring up, it's like, oh Thanos, you killed my family, right? But like not really like that was like literally in the comics, like that's just his character trait. Like he just wants revenge, like a bloodthirsty just murderer, you know. And then now, but
again, finding the heart in that is he's killed his family, whatever. He is just a dad at heart.
Exactly.
Which,
exactly, dude. James Gunn, goated, dude.
Just finding the humanity in these characters, and just honing in on that.
100%.
But Mantis in the comic, or is she original, man?
Mantis isn't from the comics. Yeah, Mantis was also part of, not the OG, but the 2008 reboot of the Guardians.
So, was she like how she is in the movie?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Which Palm does an amazing job as Mantis.
Amazing
I love
job.
Mantis.
If anyone, I saw yesterday a report that just like James was like, oh yeah, someone from the Guardians will be in his Superman movie at least. I could see Palm, or at least, I definitely could see Palm if anyone.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't
Zoe and all, I'm not saying Palm isn't big, but like I imagine Bradley Cooper is like.
Maybe maybe even Bradley. I see Bradley, but I think Zoe's kind of done, with comic book movies. Yeah. She's like, she even said herself, she's like, her and Gamora.
She got Avatar. She don't need to do shit. She's set up for the rest of her life.
Exactly, bro.
Until she's like, hey, kill me off, James, kill me, James Cameron.
Other James.
Yeah. But yeah, she don't have to really do shit no more.
Yeah, 100%. And then like, Chris Pratt is coming back without spoilers, right? Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And then Bradley is just the voice, and then
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
We're gonna get Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Talk about family and Superman.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think James absolutely crushed it. And then you were actually, I watched an interview last night of how he actually verbatim said like one of the biggest things that he grew from the first, the camera work is better in the second one from the first one.
Oh, so he actually
said that, acknowledged that last night, literally, in an interview. And then like he was like, oh, I learned like different better techniques and the technology, which like, dude, it's so crazy to think about the first Guardian almost came out 10 years ago, bro.
Damn.
So even the technology evolved. He learned like camera work is better. And then you point out like after in the movie, just like some shots that he did were just like crazy, you know, like crazy, like just different, right? Spoiler.
Because he was doing spin shots.
Yes, 100%. The camera work is crazy. All right, camera died. First episode, technical difficulties. Where we left off was
talking about CGI.
The CGI. So, I mean, once again, there's so much you could talk about. We're trying to lock in on Guardians of the Galaxy, but you know, Marvel's had some interesting CGI moments. I didn't think the She-Hulk CGI was that bad until like episode 4.
Hey, they made her twerk, so
hey, that's all that matters. Let's be honest here.
That, man, that's where all the budget went.
In
moving them cheeks.
The cheeks, exactly. Quantumania, I mean, you know, I that was the first time I really felt the use of the, why am I blanking what it's called? The
Oh, where they use the screen?
The screens, like Mandalorian. LED. Yeah.
Yeah, LED screen.
Crap, why am I blanking on what that's called? They also use it in Quantumania, and I really felt it just very like, just looking into the nothing. I could look it up.
No, I was saying the timer.
Oh, timing it. Sorry, we're also. But I think the CGI looked great here.
Oh yeah, no, someone asked James, they're like, was that a real dog or was it CGI? And I thought it was like, okay, it ain't that. But Groot looked amazing.
Groot looked amazing.
The only CGI moment where I was like, that looks a little iffy is the girl running on the hamster wheel.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that is clearly green screen.
Yeah.
You know, because of lighting and stuff. But other than that, there was no CGI issues at all with anything.
No, 100%.
And there was a lot of practical effects anyways.
A lot of practical. I think Cosmo, the dog, they had a real dog on set as reference. But I think Cosmo was mainly CGI, yes. But you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's her, wait, what?
What?
Oh, did you say the actress name?
Cosmo the dog, the actress name is the girl from the second Borat.
Borat, yes.
Yeah. She was awesome. Good. She was great. I really liked her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, talking about her and actors and who stood out the most, right? Let's just clap it up for Bradley Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon, like, and I also do agree. I saw a thing. We live on Twitter. We have a Twitter group chat that we use quite actively.
We use it every day.
Every day. I saw a thing where I do agree that people know it's Bradley Cooper as Rocket, but like as like Marvel acknowledging it and dude, that is literally Bradley Cooper, the Hangover King, like such a good actor. He is literally Rocket, and this movie of him getting to shine a bit of just being Rocket and having like some crazy scenes. I feel like you know what scene I'm talking about. We're really showing emotion. Was just insane. He just did so good. Chris Pratt always delivers.
You know something? Yeah, Chris Pratt is actually a solid actor.
Leading man. He gets such a good leading man.
He gets a lot of shit, but I'm like, I also see why Chris Pratt is a leading man. I mean, turned into a leading man now.
Yes.
Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt, sidekick. But
yes,
now it's like he has a presence on screen. That's just really good.
That just also like built over time, right? Because
but he's also he could do dramatic scenes. Yeah. He has background in comedy. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's like He can make fun of himself as much. He could like he.
Sorry, Loki. Continue.
Damn, Loki. But yeah, so like Chris Pratt is solid, and even in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I was like, this is solid. I'm like, I kind of get why they didn't go with the over the top.
Yep.
It's for me.
Yep.
That would have been annoying for an hour and a half.
Yeah, he's gonna be Garfield next.
Now that's too. Now Chris, you need to fucking sit down. That's too much. You doing too much shit. You can't be everybody. Fucking goddamn.
Yeah, he's gonna be Garfield, which I think is so interesting, dude. Like literally, he's Mario and straight to another animated. He's gonna be Garfield, bro. But dude, controversy aside, he just, I don't know. I really like Chris Pratt. I think he's super talented. Yeah, he knows comedic timing very well. Like Idriys said, that he has a comedic background coming from Parks and Rec. And, I just James Gunn has an eye. And then we're getting to this about how James Gunn does like to use his friends in movies. And but I don't mind it because when you go to James Gunn movie, you're gonna see some familiar faces, but you're also gonna see faces that you never really thought that can pull off the role and kills it. Example, John Cena as Peacemaker, I think he kills it in that role, John Cena, also developing himself as an actor. Same with Batista as Drax.
Yeah.
He was not the best actor, but coming into he's getting better and better and better.
I just wonder what James saw in bigger Chris. It's because he had to get ready, prepared for that role. But it's like,
wait, about who?
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
When he was bigger.
Oh, yes.
What James saw in him, I guess just the acting and stuff or whatever. And then James was like, Kevin, I want him. And Kevin was like, really? That's how okay. But I'm sure they're used to anybody fucking transforming their bodies.
100%. At this point,
fucking Paul Rudd is a superhero.
Yeah. Camille from Eternals.
Right. Yeah.
His body transformation was crazy, bro.
Yeah. You could turn anyone.
Everyone uses steroids. I'm sorry. Let's get out of the way, bro. There's no way that motherfucker literally just got that jacked. Anyways, he looked good with steroids. Let's just get
I don't know. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and say you put in the hard hours in 24-hour fitness and got to where you were
with a little help. Anyways, yeah. Who are your standouts besides Chris? Besides
I mean Karen really, you know what I'm saying? But Zoe Saldana, it's just a well-rounded cast all around.
Yeah.
I can't really say one. I mean, of course, is Rocket's movie, so Bradley Cooper, of course. But even guy who played Higher Evolutionary.
High Evolutionary, yeah. I learned how to say his name. Chudy.
Oh, God.
It's Chudy Wookie or something. Damn it! I remember. I was watching hella interviews last night, kind of prep. It's because I really want. It's Chudy Wookie or something like that. But they call him Chudy.
Okay,
yeah.
So Chudy.
Yeah.
He's all of them. But again, this is James. I feel like he made it where it was everyone got a moment to shine in this movie. No one really outdid each other or anything. Again, like I said, of course, it's Rocket's movie, so that's a natural given. But other than that, Chris had his moments, Zoe had her moments, Karen had her moments, Palm had her moments, Drax had his moments. I was surprised Batista was actually crying at the end.
True. That's how much he hates, he wants out, but I don't think...
I was just speaking acting skill-wise.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so everybody had their moments of damn, they actors.
Yeah, everyone really grew into themselves.
I guess the only person that didn't really show off any acting range was homie who played Adam.
Adam Warlock.
What's his name?
Will Poulter.
Will Poulter. Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second for sure with some gripes we have, maybe some slight gripes. But yeah, dude, Chudy as High Evolutionary, Could be seen as one of James Gunn's close friends. He was in the Peacemaker show as Myrn, who I loved. Like, I was very excited when they announced as Chudy as the High Evolution. I think it was great. People are throwing him in now as, one of the best Marvel villains, which I could definitely see. So people throwing him as they want him to be Kang, right?
He did that one thing where I was like, all right, he went it was like, but we can that rancid word. Like I was like, okay, you got me there a little bit. Hey, bro, I might go see your next movie. Hey,
he's really good. Like, I definitely like. He may not have looked like High Evolutionary in the comics, but they did his own thing, and I think it was awesome. Cameos. The more that's coming out, there were a lot of cameos in the movie.
I thought when you see the movie, well, is this going into spoilers now?
Yeah, we get into spoilers. Let's get into spoilers. We get into our gripes, and we get into gripes. We have to talk about it. Spoilers. If you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe you got tune off. But we like the movie. We love the movie. Definitely go see the movie. James Gunn, goated.
Spoilers. Okay, so cameos. I automatically thought the pink lady was fine as hell.
Yes.
I didn't know why.
Yes.
Turns out she was Ratcatcher.
Michelle something. She looked very familiar. I was like, where is she from? And yeah, she was Ratcatcher.
She was in Suicide Squad, and I thought she was fine there too.
Yep.
But she's a model turned actress.
Yes, 100%, yes.
Gal Gadot
vibes, 100%. She was good as Ratcatcher. She had a small role here, so nothing too crazy.
But she even did, for the small, she did pretty well.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Nathan Fillion was one of the biggest ones. He has been pining to be in the MCU for a while now, and him and James are close friends, so finally threw him in. And he had a good bit. His bits were, he was like, I got one of those. That was funny.
Apparently Pete Davidson had a...
So Pete Davidson was in it. I guess like a background side character. Don't really...
But they also said he was that glob thing.
In Guardians?
Remember when Mantis was letting all the kids out and then there was that ugly glob?
Oh, yeah.
They said that was him. I don't know.
Ew. Yeah, when you see the movie, there's like just a grotesque little glob thing. That was like, it's just random, but interesting. Oh, maybe. Funny. I mean, so for Sylvester Stallone, he was in the end, like one of the many post-credit scenes in Guardians 2 as one of the Ravagers, an OG Guardian. Star or something? Not Star Fox. That's different, completely different. But yeah, he was also, the Shark. Mm-hmm. He was King Shark in the Suicide Squad. Who else am I missing? I feel like.
We don't know if it's Miley Cyrus or Tara Strong, but one of them.
Yeah, Miley. Yeah, as Mainframe. Michelle Yeoh. She was. Do you remember that? Michelle Yeoh was a part of that team.
Oh, she was.
She was. But Michelle Yeoh's now Oscar winner,
multi-Oscar
awesomeness. So it's fine. Hopefully they bring back Michelle Yeoh as a different character, because I definitely think that's viable. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Because I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, that would be awesome to bring Michelle Yeoh. Sean Gunn, but that's his brother, Cragland.
I mean, at this point, he is a secondary character.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not even like a cameo. No. But he played Young Rocket.
Yes, he did play Young Rocket.
I was very surprised.
So, yes, he did play Young Rocket. But I definitely feel like the emotional scene that we were talking about, the one where all his friends die, I think that was Bradley.
It maybe, yeah.
Or because there's three people that played Rocket.
Yeah,
there's Young Rocket, and there was another actor who played Little Rocket, and then Bradley as Rocket.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe it was that actor who played
Little Rocket. I don't know, because I guess Sean might do a good impersonation of Bradley.
Yeah.
But
100%.
But have that, upper tone.
No, that was definitely another actor for sure. Probably, yeah.
James said that was Sean.
Oh, for sure Sean. Yeah, for sure Sean. Yeah. Definitely not Bradley for those. Yeah, 100%. Those are the cameos that like popped off right in my head. I feel like maybe they're like different like prosthetic characters, like alien characters that we just we didn't pick up right away.
Like I'm sure somebody played the carrot guy.
Yes, the carrot guy. Like, the carrot guy.
That had to be some cameo or something.
The guy who looks like a carrot. Just like, what?
Yeah. War Pig was somebody too.
For sure. I believe that.
I just didn't reckon. Like, I know she's an actress, but I just don't remember her name. And then the other one. But let's talk about that fucking hallway scene.
The hallway scene. Before we like spoiler of what that hallway scene was insane. Some gripes.
Okay, go ahead.
You have any gripes? I mean, this was like one of the major things that a lot of people were talking about, which I do kind of agree. Adam Warlock, the use of Adam Warlock and Will Poulter, right? Adam Warlock is a very big character in the comics. He was, had an Infinity Stone, was major player in the Thanos quest and like just the Infinity Saga and stuff. And then having him be teased in the second one, my son Adam. And then like, yeah, let's go, Adam Warlock. Finally, Will Poulter, great actor, but just maybe I would say underutilized, right? In a way, he was there to serve a purpose of like, hey, trying to bring him to the high evolutionary, but at the end of the day, his scenes were bits. His scenes were jokes, right? Funny jokes, funny, good jokes.
I would say the only thing was some things did seem repetitive of just like, because we have multiple scenes of him like being like, like there's four scenes of him doing that. And then there was one other thing that I was like, how many times are you going to say this? Peter kept saying, we need to save our friend. He says that a lot in the movie.
Really?
He says that a couple of times. We need to save our friend. We're doing this to save our friend. Let's do this so we can save Rocket. I'm like, is that to remind me what journey we on?
Yeah.
Those are small things that probably I'm just nitpicking. But I already told you, like, I have a different, I guess, perspective on Adam, because I'm like, they had to dumb him down because he's just OP as fuck.
True. Yes, that is a very good point. That is a very good point.
He would have taken away from everything.
100%.
Unless he was, because he's not the main villain, they have to nerf him.
And that's what exactly happened in the scene where, like, that set the tone of where, like, we meet High Evolutionary and just throws him in the wall and, like, bitch made him, right? Yeah. Like, sunned him, was just like, you're nothing, I'm the villain, High Evolutionary. Yeah. For sure, 100%. Because Adam is very OP, for 100%. 100%. He's going to be utilized again, when we talk about the post-credit scene, like, he'll be back and he's going to be, like, like, Captain Marvel, like, esque level, not Captain Marvel like that power level, but just like the power set.
Who's stronger, Adam or?
I think in the MCU right now, because he doesn't have Infinity Stone, for sure, Captain Marvel is still very much our base level of like powerful. Right?
Well, will we put Wanda under?
Wanda's up there, but just the fact that Captain Marvel has like the whole Nova-esque power and the space thing, and she, let's Endgame, right? She just went through the ship and just like, she's here to save the day.
Yeah.
Single-handedly. The hallway scene. Insane, dude. Insane.
That was showing off, James. Yeah. You were just showing the fuck out. Yeah. You said, let me put my whole James Gunn gussy in this. And I was blown away.
Yeah,
I wanted to clap at that moment. As soon as it ended, I was like, that was something.
I think it's safe to say it's hard to impress you sometimes.
That impressed me.
Yeah, right?
I was like, damn. It was the one part that just made me just feel like it made my soul glow. Was it was Rocket's, because each scene was like, there was like a certain amount for each character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And when it was Rocket's turn, and he did like the whole jump in the air and all the but then he had that slow mo. I was like, this is that shit right here.
So good.
Like, I want more of it.
It was so good.
And honestly, so went from Peter, or no, who to start with? I don't even know. But ended with a Gamora.
Ended with Gamora, yeah.
Slicing that motherfucker 800 ways.
Yeah.
and then you get that shot of all of them like ready to move forward. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how you don't. If I was them, I have to acknowledge that badassery that we just did. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's even more badass to not acknowledge. So let's just keep moving. Like, we ain't just do that shit.
Yeah.
And when you see that scene, or if you know what scene I'm talking about.
It's the hallway scene.
I need that scene like framed.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I looked over at, it was me, Idriys, and then our good friend Louise. And I looked over and he was just like, damn. And I was just like, damn, dude.
That was probably one of the best scenes in the MCU, like
hands down.
At least top 5.
Top 5. I would give top 10, but yeah, top 5. Yeah, it was insane. Also the choice of, I mean, Guardians is known for the soundtracks, you know, and just using Beastie Boys, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, just added to it, bro. Like, it was so good, dude.
That's another thing. James, he said that, you know, he knows what song he wants per scene or whatever, and it's not typical to put music in your script. Like, that's not a typical thing. But, you know, I guess in this case, because music is a sort of it has a purpose.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, it makes more sense to put it in. But pause. Yeah. So like his music. I just wonder. I'm like, is he actually just like a music head with all of these just in his head, like ready to go? Like, oh, this scene, I know this song. Like,
I think so for sure. Because like, even Peacemaker, the songs are on point. Like, very.
I'm like, are you just looking through music and just like, oh yeah, that fits? You know?
I think I definitely think he's a music head for sure.
That's crazy. I'll respect the I fuck with James Gunn. I fuck with you.
Yeah, dude. James, once again, I think the little arcing thing is he's the GOAT. James Gunn is the fucking GOAT. Even just opening up, you know how like each movie opens up with like a little musical number. First one, Peter dancing. Second one was like Groot dancing. And I saw this thing, it was like 70, like it was like a 70s soundtrack, 80s soundtrack, 90s soundtrack with Creep by Nirvana as the opening, bro. And that just sets the tone, you know? I'm a creep, you know? Just how Rocket feels about himself, dude. I was just like, yo, this shit is gonna be so good, bro.
You know what I didn't, one other thing I didn't like was when he was in the I guess what is it called? In Limbo?
Oh, like in the
talking to Lila or whatever. Yeah. And she sent him back, and when he shoots back, he goes, "I'm not a raccoon." I just felt like that just felt weird to put right there. Yeah.
It did.
Like, it kind of took you out of the. 100%. I'm not a raccoon.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yes, 100% actually.
And maybe it was just how the line was delivered. It just sounded a little weird.
Yeah. Just a continuous bet. He's not a raccoon until finally. But I mean, like, dude, yeah, the scenes with Rocket and like the backstory.
Oh, when they gave him the Powerpuff Girl beatdown.
Yes.
That shit was crazy too.
Yes. Just the fact that like, yeah. So I mean, we're in spoilers, right? Just, you know, they break out. High Evolutionary was just like, yeah, we're gonna kill you guys tomorrow. Breaks out. Finally gets to hug Lila. Just bah! I was just like, no way. And just
oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Rocket, man, that motherfucker stayed 10 toes down.
Yeah.
He picked up that first of all, scratched motherfucker's face off.
Yeah.
Just but you don't find that out till later.
Crazy, yeah.
But after he did that he didn't even waste no time. Pick up the blows and he said boom, 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 boom. Didn't even move. Didn't flinch. How y'all in the back didn't move?
I was gonna say, you know who else didn't move? Fucking Teeth and Floor, and they just fucking died.
All right. Teeth, you know, he a little bigger.
He's also a little chunky.
His dodging skills probably ain't. But Floor, hey, you got wheels, bitch.
No, she has like spider legs.
Oh yeah, it's like
Sid, you know, that character.
And she was the one yelling, which I had no idea what she was saying at first. What she was saying? She was At first, I didn't know until I watched it the second time, and I was like, she's saying, Teeth, Rocket, Floor, go now. Yeah, or whatever. I'm like, take your own advice. You see, he's standing with the ops. It's 10 toes. That's how I know Rocket. I fuck with Rocket. 10 toes, no flinching, no nothing. Bow, point blank. Got them both.
Yeah.
Didn't get hit once.
Yeah, Rocket is a G, bro. But everyone dude, so darkness, dude. Just him turning around, just realizing all his friends are dead. It was so sad, dude. It was so fucking sad. I teared up 3 times in this film, 100%. 3 times. That was one of the scenes, or the Lila scenes, the ending when they say goodbye, and there's for sure another time. But I was just yeah, that shit was way sad. And just, Lila dies and just that silence, and just lets out that it was so dark, dude.
But then higher
evolutionary.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah. So sick and twisted. High evolutionary, I think he's not a Thanos level villain, not a Kang level villain, but one of those villains where it's serves the purpose of the movie. Was so good,
Because the emotional stakes were still there, even if he wasn't as big of a threat as Thanos or whatever. Because it wasn't about we need to save the universe. It was just we need to save Rocket.
Yeah,
it wasn't a galaxy threat. It wasn't anything. It's just we want to save our friend. Yeah. So that's where the emotional stakes come from. It's not, we have to save the planet or this or whatever, everybody, whatever. It's just while we're saving our friend, we also have to save these other motherfuckers we didn't even know was here.
Yeah. Counter-Earth was crazy.
Yeah, because they didn't even save Counter-Earth. Counter-Earth gone. Everybody on Counter-Earth fucking died.
Just dead. Oh my God. The first MCU F-bomb was dropped in this movie.
Open the fucking door.
Open the fucking door. Of course it's a James Gunn movie. That was awesome. The first will there be another? Who the fuck knows?
Well, you saw James did an interview and he talked about it where he was saying he asked Kevin about it and Kevin was the Russos had one in Endgame, but they didn't want that to be their legacy.
Wow.
So they, I guess, took it out. Or whatever. He was but if you want that to be your legacy or whatever, and James was do you think you're scaring me away from it? Because now I want to do it even more. Yeah. So they was okay.
I'm sure James was fuck yes, I do. It's so James, right?
They got Deadpool coming anyway.
That is true.
And isn't Blade rated R too?
Not confirmed.
Okay.
The big thing that's been confirmed recently, we're going to talk about as episodes go on, we are very much in the leak and rumor mill side of comic book and nerdom. I do follow the leaks a lot, and it's not a leak, but
he be updating me.
Yes, at times. Kraven the Hunter is the rated R one. First Sony rated R one, which I'm pretty stoked about. The CinemaCon trailer, heard it was freaking nuts, so I'm pretty stoked. But what else crazy things happen in Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I mean, oh my God, a little fake out death with Peter.
Yeah, I'm very surprised no one died.
Yes.
That was a big, but I'm
subverting expectations. Because James Leary said someone is going to die, and no one dies, right? And that's
a lot of people died, it just wasn't anybody
we care about. Yeah, exactly. Subverting expectations, that's a big thing, and I think James is little bit that he instills, but also in movies, just subverting the expectations. But that's just straight blind to us, bro. Yeah. You said someone's gonna die. No one died. But I mean, okay, Peter, dude, if Peter
Rocket died for a second. Then he came back.
Do you know what I actually thought about, which would have hit a lot, and even though I don't want her to die, if Nebula died and controlling the ship and being I'm gonna do this, let everybody go on board, all those kids go on board, and then she just dies, and especially the arc that she had, it would have been crazy.
He wanted to end it with Dog Days Are Over. You can't have someone die and then 5 minutes later everybody Dog Days Are Over. It has to be an overall happy ending. Everybody gotta survive. If he wanted it, he said he saw it ending that way.
Awesome.
So it just didn't seem like anyone's death, it would have had to end on that note of just
yeah.
And then also, I'm sure during the making of it, they already know that Black Panther 2 was being a thing, and all that stuff. So it's like enough with the death. Let's just have a happy ending with the characters.
Happy enough, but the Guardians are disbanded, right?
Yeah.
So this iteration of Guardians are over. We have we have Nebula and Drax staying in Nowhere. Mm-hmm. Nebula is like the leader of Nowhere now. You know, kind of the mom and dad of Nowhere. We have Mantis doing some soul searching. Mm-hmm. We have Peter Quill now on Earth with his grandpa, who's still alive.
So I wonder next time we see Peter if he's going to be a little older, like he's going to be a little aged now that he's back on Earth.
True, because because they did make a whole like aging joke. Mantis and him made a whole aging joke.
Yeah,
maybe a little age. I don't think we're gonna see. So at the very end, right, the second post-credit scene was literally just Peter and his grandpa having breakfast together,
which was Kevin Feige. It was his funniest thing.
What?
Kevin Feige as a grandpa.
That was Kevin?
I thought you told me that was Kevin.
No, it looked like Kevin Feige.
I think it was Kevin.
Really?
Yeah.
It looked like Kevin. That's why I made that joke. I was like, that guy looks like Kevin.
Oh, fact check it. It wasn't Kevin?
Was it Kevin? But at the very end, you know, there's title screens of who will return in the next Marvel movie. It says the legendary Star-Lord will return. So, hey, we got Peter. We got Peter for sure. Was Kevin Feige in Guardians 3? No, it says nothing that he was in Guardians 3.
Wait, then who played? Go on IMDb. Who played the grandpa?
Grandpa. Starchild. What was the grandpa's name?
Grandpa Quill.
Guardians 3. Oh, it's this guy.
That's not the same guy, is it?
I think it's the same guy. Maybe.
Check his IMDb.
Oh, he's a James regular, supposedly. Linda. Oh. Greg Henry.
Damn, I thought that was Kevin.
It literally looks like an older Kevin.
My bad, Kevin. You don't look like that.
Kind of. Shout out also Linda Cardellini as Lila. So good. That also made one of just like, you know, Velma.
Yeah.
Velma.
Yeah.
Baddie.
We love that Scooby-Doo movie.
We do love that Scooby-Doo movie. She's also Hawkeye's wife though.
Yeah. She's also Freaks and Geeks.
Yes, also Freaks and Geeks.
The biggest one.
Yeah. Sorry, side note. But yeah, so all the Guardians are disbanded. Star-Lord is for sure coming back, right? Zoe Saldana said she's kind of done with Gamora.
Yeah, I think that's a good ending for Gamora.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think everybody's probably going to come back for Secret Wars Kang Dynasty.
Everyone is coming back for Secret Wars. We will have maybe a whole Secret Wars episode, but like everyone's coming back. Even Gamora. Like everyone's coming back. But I mean, like, you know, a little pop in like to different movies. Like I could see Peter Quill. I could see him coming back and maybe like throw him in Fantastic Four. Throw him in maybe.
Really?
I think
he's gonna be chilling
for a while, for a bit. We're not gonna see him for a while. We gotta miss him, right? Like how we miss fucking Chris Evans and fucking.
Yeah,
Robert
it's
Downey
gonna
Jr.
be the walk-in scenes. You know, everybody clapping at the theater. Oh my god, you know.
100%.
But another thing, James said he of course had a hand in picking the next Guardians.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Good segue of the mid-credit scene of the new Guardians, right? So we have Rocket as the leader, Kraglin, Adam Warlock, Phyla, or is her name? Is the young girl who is a character in the comics, and then
but she was the one running on the wheel.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the Alpha Group. How do you feel about this new lineup?
I have to see how Kragler pans out.
Cool.
Other than that, I'm like, everybody else makes sense.
Yeah.
Kraglin. Kraglin never really did anything for me as a character. I mean, I mean, he was mostly in the background or whatever, so I just have to see how he fits into everything. I love Rocket. Alpha Groot looked cool as hell.
Awesome.
I don't know the Violet bitch. What's her name?
Phyla? Something. Oh, and Cosmo.
Cosmo and Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
Everybody, all those people are cool. The only person that throws me off is Kraglin.
True. But yes, 100%.
Yeah, that's
100%. Just seeing, I love the suits that they wore this movie. Super comic accurate. That was.
Oh yeah, no, the suits look really good.
Yeah, super comic accurate that's in the 2008 reboot run. That's exactly what they wore. Yeah, it's just so awesome to see Rocket leading the new Guardians. It makes sense. That completely makes sense. He's like he's a leader in himself too, you know? And so just him finally didn't do that. It's really cool. Adam Warlock was also a Guardians, so that makes sense. And just Alpha Group design is so awesome. Just like his little like crown, shape is straight from the comics as well. People were like nitpicking. It's like, oh, why they made Groot look like a Chad? But just like, no, once again, this is like OG first Groot's like son. And then also like the...
See, that's the misconception. People don't know it's his son.
Yeah, it's his son, right? And that's not OG Groot. Like OG Groot is dead. And then just like also him being around all these MCU characters shaped him who he is now, right? His personality, the way he loves to dance.
His last line.
Yes.
So you saw the theory on his last line.
Yes, not even theory, it is confirmed. You want to talk about it?
So Groot's last line is, "I love you guys," and James Gunn confirmed that that's not him actually saying, like, he learned how to say anything different than "I am Groot." Is that we've been on this journey with them for so long, we now can understand Groot. So we understood him saying, "I love you guys," but really he said, "I am Groot." But my question is this: does that carry on?
Wow. No.
Damn.
No.
So what? I mean, I guess it was a nice moment.
It was a nice moment just to end it off, right? But I think when he comes back in Secret Wars, he's just going to be like, I am Groot. Because there's going to be so many characters, you know? Like, it wouldn't make sense for him just to, like, start speaking normally, you know?
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird, I guess.
It'd be kind of weird. So my initial thought in the theater was like, oh my God, he said something else that I am Groot. But something in the back of my head, I was like, wait, what if it's like we understand? Because you know how in Avatar 2, it's not really the same, but kind of the same. You know in Avatar 2, where like in the beginning it was like, oh, Jake Sully was like, oh, I'm like with the Avatar people so much now that like I basically understand him. And then like we understand it, they're speaking English, but it's actually not me. So that's why I was like, wait, what if it's like that scenario where like we understand him for the first time? And it actually was confirmed by James Gunn. Because you know how throughout the whole movie, Gamora was like, hey,
what the fuck are you saying?
What the hell are you saying, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, I think that was kind of like a subtle tease, or finally at the end, she understands him. And then that's why we, at the very, very end, understand him. I love you guys. Just, what a good way just to circle back.
This is just a good conclusion to a trilogy.
100%.
And James Gunn, I mean, I know people didn't like the second one as much, but I really liked the second one too.
Nice.
I like this trilogy as a whole, to be honest.
My hot take in a way, I think this could be seen as like Marvel's best trilogy as of yet, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at Ant-Man 1 to 3. You know, I love the first Ant-Man, third one. We could talk about that another day, right? Thor. Rough.
Thor's been all over the place.
Rough. All over the place, right? Captain America.
I like Winter Soldier. We got to see New World Order.
Yeah, true.
Is that the third Captain?
Fourth. Civil War.
Civil War. Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Could be up there.
Hey, Captain America has a decent run. The first movie wasn't like crazy.
Wasn't crazy. Agree.
Civil War and Winter Soldier. Hey, I got something, Steve.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, just consistency for this, even though personally, the second one wasn't my favorite. I do enjoy, if you want me to rank them, it goes 3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
My favorite
that makes
for
sense.
me. It goes 3, 1, 2.
That makes sense.
Just, I think this is if not the best right now trilogies conclude, like really tying it with the bow in the MCU. James Gunn's the fucking GOAT, bro.
Shout out James Gunn.
Shout out James Gunn. I think that's pretty it for the first episode. This is our Guardians of the Galaxy review.
Yeah.
Nerd Hour.
Unity.
All right. Every Wednesday, catch us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, NerdHour Podcast. Social medias, NerdHour Podcast, Instagram and Twitter. We'll keep you updated. See you guys soon. Deuces.
Bow, bow.